Hi everyone, welcome back. As it's Eid, I thought I would show you how to make two simple Eid sweets. One is a rice kheer and the other one is a cookie, which is a Turkish semolina cookie called Sekerpare. Starting off with the kheer, you need 1/4 cup of jeera shala rice. You can also use basmati rice, but if you're using basmati, just give it a pulse in the mixie so that you get small grained rice. Now I'm going to cook this, adding 2 cups of water in the pressure cooker for 2 whistles. So I'm going to let this cook on the side, and in the meanwhile I'm boiling 1 liter of milk. We'll need to cook the milk for at least 10 minutes so that it reduces a bit in volume. So while the milk has slightly warmed, I'm taking a little bit and adding a few saffron strands into this. You can avoid this step if you don't have saffron. Once the saffron milk has slightly changed color into a light yellow, pour it back into the milk and give it a good boil. I'm also adding in 2 tablespoons of chopped nuts. The rice has cooked and the pressure has been released. Now you can see a little bit of water remaining, so cook it till there's no more water and add the rice mixture into the milk. After this point, you have to keep stirring the milk or the rice will settle at the bottom and burn. Adding the chopped nuts and half cup of condensed milk. You will be needing more sugar, maybe around 3 to 4 tablespoons. So boil this again for another 10 minutes so that the rice absorbs the flavor of the milk. After 10 minutes, once it has reached this consistency, you can switch off the flame and let this cool. I'm also adding an apple into this, so grating 1 apple. So slightly cooking the apple with 2 tablespoons of sugar. And finally, all you have to do is add the cooked apple into the kheer, which has cooled down by now. You can see the consistency, it has become a little thicker when it's cooled. You can have this warm, but kheer usually tastes much better when it's refrigerated and cold. It's a rich, creamy dessert which you will love. So do try it out. Next, I am making a luxurious sweet called Sekerpare, which is a Turkish cookie. So to make this, we need 3 eggs. For the third egg, I've only taken the egg white and keeping the egg yolk separately for later use. Add in 1 cup of sugar into the egg and give it a good mix. Next goes in 100 grams of softened butter. Mix it well into the batter. Adding in half cup of sunflower oil into this and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, followed by 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Adding 1 cup of semolina or suji, and next I'm going to use a spatula and mix in total of 3 cups of all-purpose flour, but I will be adding in little by little. There goes in the second cup. Once it becomes a little harder, you can use your hand to mix the flour. There's the third cup, which after mixing I found was just perfect. You might need only 2.5 cups, so just check. I'm going to let this sit for 5 minutes, and meantime I'm adding a little bit of oil into my egg yolk. I'll be using this as the egg wash. Line a baking sheet with parchment paper and shape the cookies onto it. You can make it any shape you want. I just gave it a leaf-like shape like this one. making an impression with the fork. These are round cookies which the kids made. Bake these cookies in a preheated oven for around 20 minutes. After about 10 minutes, I took the cookies and applied the egg wash on top of it. And these go back into the oven for another 10 to 12 minutes. A final step is making the sugar syrup. So 2 cups of water and 1.5 cups of sugar. Give this a good boil and add in half a lemon into this. We don't need any string consistency. Just boiling it for 5 minutes will do. The cookies are done. If you want your cookies to brown on top, you can just switch on the top rod for a few minutes. Now while the cookies are still warm, I'm going to arrange them in a bowl like this and pour the warm sugar syrup onto this. We're going to let the sugar syrup get absorbed for a few minutes and then remove the cookies from here. Garnish with some powdered pistachios. You can either serve them hot or cold. I felt the cookies tasted much better the next day when all the flavors blended in. As you can see, it's a soft and rich dessert and really tasty. So try these 2 desserts and